Hey everyone, my name is Austin Washburn, better known as Austin Evo X from Instagram. Just wanted to give a huge thank you to everyone watching this video today. This is my first YouTube video, and I'm really excited as I'm going to be diving in to my 2012 Mitsubishi Evo 10. All right, let's start off with a brief overview of my Evo 10. So I purchased this car about 9.5 years ago in Austin, Texas. Before the Evo, I did have a Subaru WRX for about 5 years that I really had a lot of fun with. I did a lot of modifications to it, and I never really had issues, but I've always been interested in the Evo platform. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy an Evo. So I started looking at Evos that were for sale near me, and this one popped up at a dealership that was relatively close to me, which was nice, so it was easy to go see. And there was a couple things that drew me to it. First is that it had only 6,000 miles on it with one owner. I had a clean Carfax, which was fantastic to see, so there was really no issues with the vehicle at all. The second reason why I wanted this particular Evo was that it was in its OEM color Phantom Black, which is this black with this beautiful like bronze flake to it. And honestly, I've never seen anything like it. So after spending a few hours at the dealership, I was able to trade in my WRX and walk away with this Evo. I'll never forget the first drive home that I had in it, and this thing pulled so much harder than my WRX, even though the WRX had full bolt-ons. And this car was like an experience that I have just never experienced before. And I truly understand now why people have so much fun with these Evos. So let's talk about where it sits now and how it got to here. So about 2 years ago, I was in a position where I truly wanted this Varis V2 Widebody kit. And thankfully enough, I had enough money saved up at the time to be able to get this kit. And I noticed that Bulletproof Automotive had one of these in stock. So I reached out to them and was able to confirm that they actually had it in stock. And about a week or two later, I want to say, I had about 6 or 7 Varis boxes in front of my house and was like, oh my goodness, this is actually happening. So at the time, I actually didn't have a garage, but shout out to my mom for letting me use hers, because I absolutely destroyed that garage over the next 2 to 3 weeks of putting this body kit on with the help of my friends from the inversion crew. And man, there is so much cutting that you have to do for this kit. Thankfully, it's all outlined in the instructions, which huge shout out to Varis for doing that. It made the process a little bit easier, but it just took a lot of time and patience putting the kit on, making sure that it was all lined up, and just piecing it together. Thankfully, with Varis pieces, they fit like OEM. Honestly, I had no real fitment issues with them, which drastically helped with putting the kit together. And when I had the kit on, it was like half of the equation's done. It's like, okay, now what color am I going to paint this Varis kit and the Evo? I thought about keeping it the OEM Phantom Black, but I figured if I was going to be paying for a paint job, I may as well be doing something just a little bit different. So what brought me to Millennium Jade is that my fiance showed me a BRZ on Instagram from Japan, and it had the Varis body kit on it, and it was painted in Millennium Jade. And the way the Millennium Jade and the carbon fiber flowed together on that car, I was like, man, that looks so good. But unfortunately, this individual, lives in Japan. And as much as I would have loved to go out there and see it and meet him, I don't know how well that would have worked out. So I kind of had to use my imagination until I saw a R32 GTR in Arizona for a car show that I went out for that was painted in Millennium Jade, and I was sold on it. I was like, this is the color that I want to do for the Evo and for the Varis kit. To be honest, I was still a little nervous about how it was all going to look together, but man, after I took it to the paint shop down in Ogden, which is Campus Auto, it came out exactly how I imagined and how I hoped every night that it was there. And seeing it here, it just still blows my mind with how it looks today. So let's go into other modifications that this vehicle has and everything that I've done, over the past few years. So looking at the car, it is sitting on BC forged wheels. They are two-piece wheels, custom made to your specifications. So mine are a 19 by 11 with a -40 offset, and they are currently wrapped in a Bridgestone 285/30 tire. So it does have a little bit of a stretch to it, but it really fits extremely well with this Varis kit. And honestly, in the future, I do want to go back to having a meatier tire for this, and one that fits just a little bit better and is more aggressive. So I'm excited to show you all when that transition comes. As you may have noticed, it is on airlift 3P suspension. I love having the convenience of being able to air out and also air up. Out here in Utah, there's so many dips and just hard to enter places that having airlift has saved me and the car from getting damaged. So if you do care about your vehicle and you don't want to keep replacing carbon fiber lips, I highly suggest going air suspension. I know it's expensive, but so is for carbon fiber lips. So you got to pick and choose your battles with that. So on the rear of the car, I do have a Cybin carbon fiber trunk fitted with a APR GTC 300 carbon fiber spoiler. I absolutely love the way that the spoiler conforms with the Evo 10 body. It seems to fit it perfectly. I also have the APR carbon fiber mirrors on the car. I know they're a little small, and people have asked me if they're hard to see out of, but it's actually really easy to see out of them. They're a lot wider, but they are kind of shorter, like vertically when you're looking out. But if you just kind of move up and down in your seat, you can still see things very easily. The hood that I have on this car is from Varis as well. Same with the canards. So I have almost all the Varis pieces from them. They still make a rear diffuser, like carbon fiber piece that goes under the rear bumper that I haven't purchased yet. But I kind of like the look without it because I get to see my Tomei exhaust hanging out the back, which is one of the best exhaust systems on the market. If you have a Tomei available, I highly recommend getting it because it sounds so good and it has that titanium tip on it and it just looks so good. I absolutely love it. So I believe that pretty much covers the exterior of the car. So let's talk about performance modifications. So interestingly enough, I took power last compared to other Evo owners, which I feel like is the complete opposite, as they always do power first and then sometimes they don't even touch the exterior. And waiting so long to do power, I'm grateful for it, but I'm also like, man, I really wish that I did power first. So I recently installed a Artjanari 62 millimeter stock frame turbo. I accompanied that with like a MAP tubular manifold, all the supporting mods with it, such as like the ETS titanium intercooler piping, their intake, the downpipe and test pipe, pretty much just all your bolt-ons, supporting mods that's needed. For fueling, I did do a Walbro 525. I did the AMS fuel rail. I did an upgraded fuel feed line with it, and then FIC 1650 injectors. And I did the AMS fuel pressure regulator as well, as I've heard the 525 it pumps so much fuel. It's good to have an eye on your fuel pressure. And with all of those mods together, I did get it tuned on, it's like around like E70 that I got tuned on. And it made a 506 to the wheels and around like 390 torque, if I remember correctly. And man, this car screams and it's just so much fun to drive. I can't believe that I put off doing power for so long, but now that I have it, I'm just having an absolute blast with it. It's just so much fun. And in future videos, I will be doing like POV driving, just around like the canyons and around to where I'm going to go take pictures at. So I can't wait to show you what it's like driving this car. It's just so much fun now. So beyond the performance modifications, with the interior, I did spice that up a little bit. I did get some custom carbon fiber status seats, so it is fully carbon fiber. I got the Inversion Crew logo embroidered into it. And then I have to give a huge shout out to NRG, for one of my sponsors, for sending me like the harnesses, the steering wheel, some of the bolts that connect like the wide body piece together. I absolutely love their products, and they just fit and kind of go with the car so well, especially with all the carbon fiber pieces that they actually have. So it kind of just helps tie things in together. For the radio, I do have a SiGav head unit. It's you can purchase it from Amazon. And for anyone that has an Evo 10, or I believe even Rally Art as well, this head unit makes such a huge difference in audio compared to the OEM head unit. If you're worried about sound, do not worry. They have an onboard like app that has, it's like a equalizer or something of the sort that allows you to tune everything, and you can increase like the amount of power that your subwoofer has from it with like the OEM Rockford Fosgate system. And man, it makes the biggest difference in the world. And it has CarPlay on it as well. So if you have an iPhone, I highly, highly recommend it. It makes your driving experience even better. And I will be taking some videos just of the interior of the car so you can get a better view of it as well. But in the back, I do have the rear seats stripped out, and I have a Beat Rush seat delete in it as well. I absolutely love the look of it, kind of all like gutted out. Ultimately, I do want to save weight on this car and start stripping more that I can to save weight. Really, my end goal with this car is to have it be a jack of all trades. I want to track it. I want it to be a show car. I want to drive it across the country and not tow it. I feel like this car is meant to be driven, and I want to just do everything with it. So I'm really excited to look into getting into doing tracks next year. And that's why I got the Auto Power half cage in the back as well. That way I'm ready to go for, I want to say like most events, almost all of them. So I'm super excited about that. And yeah, I'm going to go over to the DJI Pocket, get a few more clips of this vehicle so that way you can see all the titanium that's under the engine bay. You can see the interior of the car, kind of do a little bit more walk around here with it. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into my video today. And I truly can't wait to bring you more content, as I do a lot of photography and my own videography. So I'll be bringing you along with that and showing you how I edit my photos and my videos as well, which I know has been a huge ask from people. We'll be doing some POV driving, like we're in the canyons, just car shows whenever I go travel. It's just going to be a really fun time. So if you like my Evo and you like the idea of learning something new, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.